put your hat in the mix, right? See what happens. All right, guys, we're gonna get our first guy in here. We have I'm This Guy. I've seen him stream a few times right now, so if you haven't already, let's make sure we give him a follow, give him some love as well. We're gonna give him a call right now. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. How are you?
Living the dream, my friend. Living the dream, as always.
Sir, I think your room is on fire. There seems to be a lot of smoke.
Yeah. Living the dream. Literally hotboxing. All right. What's up, Nate? How you doing? Welcome in. There's gonna be times throughout this I'll end up talking to the chat, so if you're confused by
Oh, you're fine.
No,
not at all.
One more thing, guys. When we're doing these VOD reviews, feel free to pop in with questions, ask, because it might stir on conversation that I never would have considered as well. So there's opportunities for me to learn too. So I'm This Guy. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you started to play Valorant? What are your goals, and what do you struggle with?
I started playing Valorant actually in the closed beta long time ago, but it was more just for fun with friends and things like that. And then probably last act is when I really started to grind and try and push for rank. Started doing a lot more solo queue and really play with many other people that I used to play with. And then honestly, I know I need to work a lot on like my movement mechanics and my mental. My mental is just absolute shit sometimes, so really working on that.
Okay.
I have pretty decent game sense, like awareness of what things go on, but like I said, my mental's working on that. Sometimes I get tilted, I'd say probably too easily. So
is it just Valorant that tilts you, or is there other things in life that tilt you as well?
No, I'm a very competitive person. Okay. So I'm trying to work on not letting other people's actions or things like that affect my mental, and just trying to focus on myself a little bit more. I'm just very competitive in anything I do, any game I play. It's just I'm playing for the win, So
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually one of the big things we're going to be talking about in this VOD is mental, and giving you some protocols and whatnot to be able to deal with things, and at least identifying what things are, sorry to hit my mic, identifying what things to deal with in general. So just being able to put a name to what the situation is and what you're dealing with sometimes can help you identify what's happening, when it's happening, and be able to deal with it. And I don't expect for you to be a pro at this in the first time, because I'm going to be just like basically teaching you this thing, right? And because of that, you're brand new to it. But I want you to just be aware of it right now, so that later on when you're coming together as a player, you're able to identify it and deal with it faster, so it doesn't affect you as much. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else that you've noticed that you struggle with?
Very inconsistent with aim. I don't know if it's just like, I can never tell if it's just my reaction speed or if it's my crosshair placement or what it is. I just seem very inconsistent. Like one game dropping lots of kills, next game I feel like I'm playing the same, I just can't hit my shots. Normal stuff that a lot of people probably complain about, but
okay.
And it's probably a lot to do with my mental and just not being as focused in certain situations.
But yeah, I was gonna say that. So one of the things I've talked about, and you probably heard about it in my streams already or in my other coaching bots, is that anger and emotion will cloud you in such a way that you're basically clinically insane, where you can't make rational decisions or thought processes, right? Because you're compromised mentally. So the way that you end up playing things, or the way that you may aim, will significantly be disturbed, right? Actually, it's been proven that 80% of your mental capacities for what's the word I'm looking for? Fine motor skills. Your 80% of your fine motor skills will actually be affected. So your aim and everything will be thrown off the immediate moment you let emotions compromise you. Now, obviously, emotions can work for you and work against you. It's just a matter of trying to tame your thoughts and change the words that we use to fuel us, as opposed to bring us down and denigrate us. Okay. Nate says, gotta be positive and fun and enjoy it. It is a game after all. Definitely, Nate. Yeah, it is a game, right? We're not being paid to play it yet. Now, one of the things that I was going to mention is that if your goal is to become better, then we definitely want to deal with that. If your goal is to create content, I don't want to disturb what you're doing either, right? So, what is the ultimate goal for you? Is it like to become like a pro
My
player?
no, my goal is to climb the ranks. I want to get. My goal for this act is at least Immortal 2. So every act I've had for probably like the past couple acts, I've had a goal of a rank I wanted to reach, and I've been reaching it. Um, I just definitely have felt since getting into it's definitely just harder as you get into the higher ranks, and so I feel like I'm starting to plateau out and miss my mark on my self improvement. So just external help is never a bad thing. I coach in real life, so I know the value of getting someone else's opinions and assistance when you need it.
Awesome. I'm in the same boat. I've got a life coach. I've got a personal trainer. I've had coaches in Overwatch, for example. So yeah, there's a lot of value. Coaches in curling. I used to be a semi-professional curler as well. So there's definitely
Hey.
a ton of value, right? So,
Yeah.
um, in
Yeah,
terms
no,
of, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say I've thought about possibly like trying to like get into the esports world, playing for teams and playing like that, but I also know there's no shot in hell that I would ever be able to participate in that with my mental as it is. So, more focused on myself and just my personal rank right now and improving my mental as I go, and then we'll see what the future holds.
Okay,
If that
fair
ever
enough.
turns out to be a possibility.
And that's a good way of thinking about it because a lot of people come in saying, I just want to be pro. And it's like, okay, well, what steps do we need to take to be able to improve you, put you in the best position possible? So you've already identified a lot of things that I felt were learning objectives. The other thing that was really present is that as we rank up, communication becomes that much more key in so many different
Hmm.
aspects, right? So we're going to be identifying some specific points throughout this VOD where it's like, man, I felt you could have said something here, right?
Yeah, I kind of shut down. As soon as I saw which video you picked, I was like, ah, shit. All right, here we go. I tend to sometimes, and we'll probably talk about it when I get in those mindsets. Sometimes I shut down and I try and like really focus on myself. Or I try, I should say, and then other times like probably am talking too much or doing things too much, and it's very like white and black. It's very
Yeah.
hard for me to find that middle area and just go with the flow,
So
go
you
with what's
prefer
happening.
you would have preferred if I went with the other one.
Oh no, not at all. I was just, I was mentally preparing for like, trying to identify the things ahead of time and be like, okay, this might be an issue, this is probably an issue, like those types of things, be more self-aware, like I said, trying to make that happen.
For sure. Is there things in the other game that you want me to go over? Because I can take like a couple minutes at the end of it, just like look at it.
Oh, no, 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 no. Not
Okay.
not at all. Like I said, I wanted your opinion and your thoughts on things and get that external get the external opinion, the extra set of eyes, all that stuff.
Perfect. Sounds great.
I
Oh,
just yeah.
awesome. And what do you coach, by the way?
I'm a cheer coach.
Cheer coach. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
How does the routine work? Like in terms of your coaching, like what do you got to do to get things set up?
I I actually don't work with teams anymore. I'm a tumbling director, so I actually just deal with tumbling and getting kids to progress through the levels and get their skills and things like that.
Hmm.
When I did coach team, the routines, we have a choreographer that comes in and kind of puts the pieces together. We just kind of create, the best way to describe it is we create all the puzzle pieces and like what pieces we want in the routine, and then the choreographer comes in and kind of puts it all together in the order that it's going to go in and make it a little flashier and things like that.
Hmm. That's actually like something that could be a really interesting concept for content because I don't think a lot of people know that side of the world when it comes to like cheer and how that all how the whole thing sets up. So if you're looking
Hmm.
for YouTube content, definitely I recommend just like make a video maybe or something like that. Just go for it.
Ooh, could be an
Um,
idea.
yeah, it could be like a little documentary series or something like that, and see where it goes.
I guess I've never thought about combining the two sides of my world. I got my gaming world and then I got my coaching world.
Well, it's funny because I kind of fell into this the exact same way. I have my coaching role in terms of personal training, right? And I
Mhm.
learned a whole bunch of life lessons from it, a whole bunch of other little things that I now combined with this, right? And I was gaming for so many years, so you can find little ways of combining different, avenues and making it, your own unique content. So I know that you're streaming and you might want to grow in your stream. That could be a way of, reaching out to an audience that you might not have tapped into before. But that's just like outside, outside stuff of the session. Cool.
Fair assessment.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go into it, and we're gonna go through this round by round. The first 7 rounds, I was a little bit more open, just to like having a conversation with you and just talking about certain things, because there's a certain point in time I missed it, I think, where you start going down that roller coaster slope where things are just not going well, and I want you to help me find that point, and then we'll figure out what causes it and how we can start dealing with it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna hop on into this. So you're a smart guy when it comes to a lot of the macro stuff, I believe, because you said the right things when when I was going through this. Now, in terms of your rank, where are you at right now?
I just played last night and fell out of Ascendant 2. I'm on a really bad loss streak right now.
Okay. So Ascendant 1 right now. Totally fine.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate a couple of macro ideas for you, things that you can start doing right away. As a controller, it's a little bit more difficult because you want to stay alive, but that being said, you can definitely have some alternatives. Now, this worthy wall, you've probably heard me talk about this millions of times. I absolutely hate this wall. Unless
I hate it too. I don't use it. I don't use it when I'm on attack, which I'm sure you saw. But
yeah, I was actually giving a golf clap when I saw that, so I was very happy to see it. All right, so there is uses for this wall as long as you have a plan for it. So, for example, if you're on eco round and you need to get the bomb down, it's a really nice, quick, cheeky way of being able to bomb down. Okay, I kind of relate it to Nuke on Counter-Strike. You ever played Counter-Strike before?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, do you know the vent dive strat in Nuke when you run down the vents and just like try to plant in the basement?
Oh yes.
That's how I relate this wall, right? Now there's certain things that you need to think about in terms of using this wall. One of them is if we look at the opposing comp, right? We have 1, 2, and 3 characters that can use this as a delay post plant. So using a wall like this is actually good if they're holding cave and playing to control, say, halls, right? Because they're going to be playing around their stall utility. You'll probably have a chamber going to plant the bomb, or Reyna leading in, planting the bomb, one of those two, and these 3 will end up just stalling things out. So being able to mentally know right away at the beginning, we're going to be talking about pre-round routines a lot in this game. Being able to look at the comp and just be like, hey, this is what we need to be worried about and breeze right away. Okay?
Yeah, see, when I looked at that comp, the first thing I noticed and like what I was thinking in my mind and was all the flashes. I was like, they're going to be playing aggressive. They have flashes to take lots of early angles and early fights. I wasn't even thinking about the stall at that point.
Well, that's another really good point, right? So they've got all these flashes with these 3 guys. They can take space pretty fast, and they can play for post plant pretty fast, right? Which is like a really good concept if you end up taking space fast and then planting and then playing off your utility. So knowing that, right, and we're going to talk about this molly too, knowing that, we need to start considering our pathing options and how we want to defend the A bomb site, and this is going to affect us all the way through it, right? So seeing walls like this, you'll probably expect that someone's going to flash through this wall and push through it. If you see the wall in general, how do you want to counter it? We got to think of a few alternatives. So I'm going to let you have the floor and tell me what you think you have as options for countering this wall, and prove me right, please. Tell me how bad this fucking wall is. Okay? Give me what you think are your best options for dealing with this wall.
Well, and when I looked up at the map and I saw what my team was doing, I thought throwing the molly early to at least get some early damage and maybe stall them out while they're fast pushing onto site would be the best option, while trying to pull back a little bit, waiting for the team to rotate, because obviously in my mind they're going to be going fast, and as VIPER with a classic, I'm not really going to do much to stall it out. So trying to stay alive and keep my wall up for post plant, using Sky Dog and flashes to help retake, depending on what util she has. But in my mind right now, either Chamber has to get some picks, which probably isn't going to happen, or we have to retake with Sky util, because Sky and util and Reyna flashes to push into tunnel. But in my mind, I'm trying to just get some early damage onto anyone running straight out of tunnel, which is why I did that early molly.
Okay.
Because they don't have really any heals, as long as they don't get kills.
So you've got a good mind for everyone else's utility and how they want to use it, all that good stuff. I think you make a pretty good IGL. Unfortunately, we're in ranked. So when we're in ranked, it's harder to rely on everything going that plan. So what I want to focus on mostly is just what you can do individually when you see this wall. Like, how can you react to it? Can you give me a couple of examples for that in particular, how you can react to it specifically?
Probably gonna want to play right side pyramid, wait for the sound of a plant, shoot a molly off the little back wall, just delay the plant, and then see if anyone pushes out right side. But since I'm hiding behind the pyramid, I can avoid most of the flashes. Since, like you said, they're probably gonna push the left side of it, then flash over the wall.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So here's a couple of options for you. Whenever I see this wall, I come up to about 4 or 5 different options that I can play around with. Now, one of them is playing passive. So you would be falling back, essentially, playing back in the yellow and just holding your space, holding 50% of the bomb site, right? And that would be just essentially waiting for your team to rotate into you and then using numbers to be able to take ground on them. Okay, that's typically what most people will do. The other option that you can do is going the opposite, and this is to push through and challenge them. Not the greatest option, because you're probably facing into 4 or 5 of them, but there are times when you could do this. Now, one of the ones that I've played around with and I really love doing is actually crisscrossing your wall, which is something I think you do eventually. So you end up just throwing a wall this way and playing 4 quadrants. Okay, so if they come through the wall here, or they come through, they got to decide, do I want to push through this way, through this wall, or push through this wall right here to try to take space. Most of the time, they're going to go to this side. Okay, so crisscrossing walls can actually make a little bit more confusion, give your team a little bit more time to rotate into position, all that good stuff. Okay. Another one that I like to do sometimes, depending on how the situation is, you can crisscross the walls and you can throw an orb just randomly into the middle and just play around it. So you can play in and around it to like try to get 1 or 2 kills. Sometimes that can work depending on where your team is placed. So in this situation right now with everyone spread out, that's probably not your best option. Okay. My favorite one is to take space in other sections of the map. Okay. My favorite one to do when you have 2 on A, or 2 in mid and you on A, is to give up A altogether and everyone just starts flanking right away. Okay. The reason why this is good is because you start to suffocate, and I think you make this call later on to be able to delay with this other stuff, because here's the thing, this option is probably the best, being that we have 1, 2, and 3 people who can stall the bomb out in post plant. So having mid control in a macro concept on Breeze with a comp against a comp like this is going to be super critical, especially considering that they also have Chamber. And when Chamber plays, typically he's going to have an op, so he wants to play longer range. So you're going to see a lot of post plant setups where there's going to be 2 or 3 people on B connect or B main, or 2 or 3 on cave. So being able to start a suffocation route is going to be really effective for any kind of post plant situation. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
Lancing right now.
So he just flashed out. I don't know if you heard that. Let's play it back again. Without even looking at the minimap.
Lancing right now.
So you hear him running.
I did.
Go ahead.
I heard the flash in the second one. I didn't even realize I heard it.
Yeah, you hear him running and you hear him flashing, which is crazy. Oh, Shy Goddess, how's it going? Welcome in. Welcome in.
Spike planted.
Okay, I like the idea of picking up the sheriff here. Did you do like an animation cancel that I'm not aware of with this?
For what?
Watch your sheriff real quick.
Oh, the reload?
Yeah. Like, how'd you do that? Maybe I don't know something. Did you see that?
Yeah, there is an animation cancel you can do with the reload once the mag enters the guns, and you can do it for most guns. I don't remember what it is. I think it's just become habit. I don't remember if it's switch weapons or if you cycle an ability really fast. I think it's the ability cycle. But once the thing enters it, you can do it.
Okay. Learn something new.
Yeah.
I know that I can switch weapons once the mag hits it, but the way that looked, it looked a little bit different. My immediate thought was that he's wrapping DD on this one, so it happened there.
Hello?
Well, I know.
You worried about healing me instead of defusing it.
What?
I know that's red.
Dying from it. I had to back out.
You say never mind?
No, I was in my mind. I thought he was just playing for that leaf lineup on in their spawn.
Yeah.
But I never also didn't know if it went or not.
There's a point in time here. With how long? Yeah. So as soon as that happens, it's like okay, 100% double door.
Toxin screen down.
Like as soon as you see that leaf line up and there's nothing there.
Are you going fire or what?
But this is a good thing too, right? Because in case you didn't pick it up in the beginning that they're gonna play lineups and delay you till, now it's confirmed. Now you know how Viper wants to play, right? So these are the positive things we want to take out of this round.
Hello?
There's always something positive you can take out of every single round.
Why are you worried about healing me instead of defusing it?
Bro, I was dying from it. I had to
Okay, so we're gonna start with this because I think this might be where things start getting a little bit more rough. And you mentioned you're a very competitive person. You want to win, all that good stuff. How do you think this will affect the team?
Why are you worried about healing me instead of defusing it?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because this is where it kind of starts.
It's round one. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, it's what cued you to do this. This doesn't make you a bad person. We just want to identify what cued you to do this so that we can counteract it.
I don't know. I think similar to kind of what you said earlier when you were asking me like how would we retake the site. Like I'm always thinking about everything that's going on. So like when something doesn't make sense to me, I don't hesitate to say something, I guess. Like sometimes it's like me wanting to understand, sometimes it's me being like what the fuck, or like, you know, just different things. Like I have a very bad tendency to always kind of want to know what's going on and be aware of what's going on around me. So like in my mind, like he's not sticking the plant, he doesn't have his gun out to trade me in a 2v1, like, so I'm like, what the fuck like, you know, I'm just confused. So and it just kind of the filter goes away at that point, and I'm like, yeah.
Words are power, and tonality is power, right? It can literally change the way that something comes across. Now, you might have had an inquisitory tone that you felt was maybe passive or non-aggressive, but for some people listening to this could immediately think or put into their head that you're accusing them of something, right? And when people are go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I could have just, you know, not said anything.
You could have not just said anything. That's another, you know, layer of stuff. But there's reactivity within us, and we want to be able to control that reactivity. Sometimes it's okay to react. It's just a matter of how you deliver it, right? So in this situation right here, if you are curious, the way that you have to tone it is, oh, I thought you were going to defuse it there. My mistake. It's always on you. Always on you. Just take it on you. Okay.
Hello? Why are you worried about healing me instead of defusing it?
Now, this is a neutral approach for sure, but he could still be on the defensive here. And then all of a sudden you're making an enemy of your teammate, which is the last thing you want to do, right? So instead of that, how could we reword this to be a little bit more on the positive side? What would you say?
Thank you, I guess, for trying to heal me, but
You could say that. You could say that.
n-
But that
yeah,
could
or
also be
like just ask, just genuinely ask. Like, I don't know.
I would never. So
I don't. I
Here-
don't know what I should say in this situation other than nothing, if I'm being honest.
okay, so I'm going to give you a real life example, right? So, especially with men, I find women are a little bit more open to hearing constructive feedback than men, because men have this like innate ego within them, you know, that everything that they do has to be kind of right. It's like, for example, the gym, right? When I go to approach a guy in the gym, it's different than how I approach a woman in the gym for helping them with their exercises and techniques. With men, I don't actually talk about the exercise in particular at all, typically, right? But if I had to, I would approach it like this. I would ask what your intention was behind that, as opposed to saying, that's incorrect, let me show you how to do this. Because immediately those people typically will go on the defensive, right? So what you can do is, let's say, for example, just using the gym, right? You see someone who's doing an exercise that's completely wrong. Like he's internally rotating his shoulder to the point where he's going to tear his rotator cuff. The question that you would go up and ask you would say, wow, sir, that's really interesting. I've never seen that exercise before. I'm just out of my own curiosity. What is it that you're trying to accomplish here? What's your intention? And then if he says, my intention is to tear my rotator cuff, you say, awesome, keep doing what you're doing. you don't stop the person. He's clearly doing what he wants to do. Now, if his intention was to work his biceps, there's clearly different ways that you can work your bicep, right? But in this case, I would always take extreme ownership myself, apologize, start with an apology saying, this is my fault. Sorry, I thought you were going to stick the bomb there. What were you trying to do, just so that I'm clear, so that next round this doesn't happen, right? And it's like in that tone is important. So one of the things that I noticed with yours and with a few other people's tones that I've worked in the past is that you speak with your mouth a little bit closed. I want you to open your mouth a little bit more. This will actually help you with streaming as well, because the more you can enunciate and open the mouth, people can actually understand and see where your tonality is coming from. You'll have a more friendlier tone about you. You'll have a different energy about you. So one of the things I say is just open your mouth a little bit wider than you normally would. It's something I learned from vocal coaching as well. If you can open your mouth a little bit more, you'll be able to get the tone across in a much better way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I was dying from it. I had to back out.
We get a pick, we move
I
in.
don't know where you were
Got
going.
it?
Looking for the Viper. I was doing her lineups.
That's true, and Waman can confirm. Yeah, so like for women in the gym, I can go up and say, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I just noticed you doing something a little bit wrong. Can I give you a little bit of help? If he did that with a man, he'd be like, fuck off, bro. You know what I mean? But women would be like, oh my God, yeah, please let me help me. Right? And they're totally like open to it, right? But men have this innate ego where it's like, I have to be right about every little thing. Otherwise it will hurt my image almost. That's the way I feel about it anyways. So let's watch round number 2.
I remember this round. I don't want to talk about this round. I don't know what I'm doing.
So I don't think, here's the thing, right? Whenever you're on eco, you're on bare ass minimum. If something were to happen, if you were to make this play and push through mid and be able to catch 1 or 2 people, that's a big win for you. It's not a big deal, right? So I don't think the play is wrong. But what happens here is it's a very interesting situation because you see him here, but your brain didn't. It's almost like, I'm curious to know where your eyes were.
Probably the map, trying to identify if they'd pushed out or not. Let's see. Because I look at my map a lot. I have a really bad habit of getting caught just staring at my map, because that's all the information I can really get a lot of the times. So then I probably didn't recognize. I was probably looking like at B site on the map and didn't visually assess that I saw him at all.
Okay.
Because I was trying to see if they were pushing out and if I would have the chance to get behind him with the shorty.
Perfect. I agree, because you probably aren't looking at your crosshair right now. because I don't know of any character that can be inside this tower. So there's no way that someone's going to strafe out of this wall right here and shoot you. So you're probably not looking at the crosshair. You don't have a mindfulness of your crosshair right now. Here is the general rule of thumb whenever you're looking at your mini map. You typically want to be looking at your mini map in a fixated look when you know you are safe. Any other time, it's like you're using it like a rear view mirror or side view mirror when you're driving. I'm assuming you drive?
Yes.
You probably heard me talk about this lesson before. Here's your rear view, here's your side view mirror, and this is your other side view mirror. This gives you a instantaneous feedback as to, first of all, your shooting error, which is fantastic that you're doing that, but also who is dying, right? You're getting your kill feed from that. And then the center of your screen is your windshield, right? So I would say typically when you're driving, 80% maybe, is that the right number? 80% of the time you're looking straight ahead, but then you're also checking your mirrors every once in a while, right? To get in some information. No different here. When you're in a situation where you're in a danger spot, like when you're driving down the highway, people could be swerving in and out of you, you're going to be just casually glancing at it for information. If you hear something, you go, oh, where was that? Look up real quick, and then that's good. So right now, you are in danger zone. You're in the highway to the danger zone right now, right? And the reason why is that if we were to draw this line, we have zero control over this entire section of the map. So at this point in time, if you're a good driver, you could be checking periodically, but your focus should be primarily towards the center of your screen because you're in danger zone right now. Does that make sense?
I think I had anticipated that because they were on a buy round. In my mind, I think I just thought they were going to 5-man the site. Like they were just going to shove it down our throats since we were on an eco, since that's what I'm just honestly so used to. So I think I just kind of got lax in my
judgment.
Judgment there. I was like, oh, they're just going to 5-man onto B, and so I think that's why I was just so hard focused on the map, trying to like see as they were pushing out or see if I could get any info.
You know what? I think you're probably going to be right. It probably would have been a 5-man push. The problem is this guy was AFK. That's probably what happened. So he was like, "Fuck! I gotta move really quick." Now, here's the thing: as you get higher up in ranks, you're going to see less 5-man pushes, even on ecos. You'll probably see one lurking, so it's probably going to be a 4-1, just so that we can get someone in the right position to be able to hear people rotating, all that good stuff. So as you get in higher ranks, you'll start seeing less of the 5-man pushes. You might be conditioned from platinum and below and all that good stuff when this actually was happening and was happening all the time, right? So you'll see this a lot more commonly, and now that you've been punished for it, it's a learning lesson for you, right? This guy takes so much time to be able to shoot you. Good on him. You should be saying, Budin, thank you so much for punishing me and making me a better player for it. I appreciate you taking your time and shooting me in the fucking head. Bitch.
I think my response was more appropriate there.
Yeah. Now let's just go. Let's just make sure that we're keeping ourselves positive, right? So you should be actually, instead of bitch, you just say thank you. Thank you. Okay?
Player standing.
Instantaneous responses. And I don't expect this to happen overnight, right? Like, even if I were to play right now, I'd probably be like, fuck, son of a bitch, right? But the more you can practice that and just be like, okay, be thankful to these lessons, the easier it's going to be for you, okay? I noticed on your right arm you have a wristband of some kind of stabilizer or tensor.
Oh, I just have an arm sleeve. So I have an L desk. And I rest my arm on my desk, so my arm will sometimes just get stuck. So I put an arm sleeve on just so it kind of glides better.
Ooh, I like that. Could you maybe link that to me at some point in time? That could be something I can like look into and see if it's something that I recommend students for.
Oh, yeah. I just got it from a sporting store. Most sporting stores have it, and a lot of people use them for baseball or basketball, keep their arms warm and keep them up. Yeah, so I just got a general one, nothing specific. They do make compression ones for elbow support and things like that, but I didn't need that.
I like that a lot because if you can glide a little bit more easier, there's less options of friction and whatnot. What are you looking at right now? Out of curiosity.
I think during this game I had a friend's stream open, so I was just kind of peeking over because it sounded like something interesting was happening. I have their stream sound cut out from my stream, so like, or at least very low. So I think I was just kind of looking at what's going on, trying to curiosity, I guess.
Okay.
I have so over on my right screen when I'm streaming, I have my Discord, I have my internet browser, I have my Spotify, I have like 4 different things open on my non-game stream.
Okay. Here's a
So yeah,
problem. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah, I'm not set up and the round started.
Yeah. Here's the problem, right? When we're trying to perform and do our absolute best, we need to hit a state called flow state. Have you ever heard of that before? You have heard of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Flow state is when we have, for everyone in the chat, blinders up, where the only thing we have 100% focus and attention on is what we're trying to do in the exact moment that we are doing it. Now, when we pick up our phone, for example, right? I don't want to hit this button and open up and see my girlfriend's text right now. She understands that when I'm streaming, I do not talk. And the reason being is that as soon as I open up this phone, I start looking at what she's saying, I'm going to lose focus on this particular session and you're not going to get my best, right? It's been proven through study that it takes approximately 40 minutes to refocus yourself on the task at hand once you've looked at your phone. This also includes if you're looking at your friend's stream, because you're not 100% focused on what's going on in the situation around you. If you want to get better, it's something that you must master, okay? Master your control over your ability to look at different things, right? There is so much information. There's so much information in this game that you should be completely attent at every moment of the game's flow. This includes buy phase. This includes when you're dead. There's just so much stuff that can be taken in that you can apply and use against your opponents. For example, that first round when we saw him playing lineups, you might not have clocked in your head that this person is innately trying to use lineups, right? So that will affect you for the next rounds in the future, because you're not thinking, oh shit, I gotta play for these lineups. Or you're not communicating to your teammate, hey, he's gonna be using lineups pretty much all game. We should probably play to counter that right away, right? So
Yeah.
these are all little things we want to be taking a look at. Also, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Okay? Do we know what the situation is on their team? Let me move back.
By the way,
Don't see anything, don't see anything, don't see anything. You have not pressed tab. That means you have no clue as to what they're going to do. It's kind of like taking both your eyes and deciding to patch over one eye and say, I'm only going to use one eye this round because I feel bad. You know, I'm a nice guy. I have a big gun advantage over this other team, and I want to give them a chance to win this round, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't stress enough having 100% focus on what it is that's going on in the game. And trust me, if you feel in a state where you are bored in this game, then you're not playing the game right, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on that you are missing key information that a lot of other players at higher ranks are going to pick up on. And that's my TED Talk. Okay, so you do the crisscross wall. This is good. Angle it a little bit more to the left here so that they have 4 quadrants, right? 4 quadrants. That makes it a little bit more complicated for them.
I think in my mind I put it at the corner of the entrance, just because out of habit, you know, when I play smokes, I try and cut off as much of their space as possible, so like they can't walk out as freely all the way onto site.
Fair enough.
I think
Yep.
that's why I put it there at the doorway.
Fair enough. As long as you've got enough time to be able to play, sorry, I don't want to delete that. As long as you have enough time to be able to get into this position to play this section of the map, right? Because you want to be able to like threaten them here to slow them down a little bit more and then fall back through your wall at that point. So they just want to have a constant threat, and even if you were to just shoot a couple shots through there from that direction, it's going to slow them down again, right? Now, be mindful, it's a 5v4, right? So how you play this next part is very important because you have the advantage. Okay, one lurking through here. Remember, they're on a bonus round right now, right? So they're just looking to cause damage to you guys. If they can get any kind of frag, they're feeling pretty good right now.
Paul's
There's one. You got 2 in mid. 3. There's your 2 guys in halls. Any frag here. That's good. You got 2 down now. So this is going to affect your economy all the way through the rest of the game, right? So being mindful of that, because now they have the advantage going into this round. Or they should anyway. Unless they screwed up their buy. Let's see. Yep, they're good. So they should have the advantage. We have a half buy and a half buy. Okay. You could buy for
I think
one.
I buy one.
You can buy for one of them. Yeah. So you're gonna have 4 people. Yep, 4 people, and they're gonna have 5. Think of it like that. You have 4 full buys versus 5 full buys. So you're now in a disadvantage. It's kind of like you're on eco a little bit. And how you play around that is going to help you win more rounds too. So think about playing a man down right now. If you've ever had a guy DC out of your game, it's kind of like that. Just think of it a little bit like that, a little less than that.
Just now respond to that.
And because of that, it will change the way that you play. You either play typically over aggressive to be able to even out those numbers, or you play really passive. One of the two. You don't really want a gray area.
Okay.
You can like spot for information, that's fine. So right now you should just be looking at minimap. Okay, this is danger now. Yeah, gun out.
Last player standing.
Okay, right now all you want to do is see if you can get 2 kills.
Just let 2 of them.
You change your mindset here. 2 kills is great. Okay,
You guys
didn't
just
happen.
got run down by 2 fucking people.
Okay, they can't hear you saying this, but you can hear you say this, right? Is this a detrimental thought for your own self?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
You can't control any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Unless you can somehow reach through your monitor and be able to hold on to their mouse and keyboard, you're putting a ton of pressure on yourself to expect certain things from your teammates, right?
Why are we stacked?
Ow.
Non-stop.
I just hit my microphone,
Holy
sorry.
shit.
Yep.
What am I watching?
I used to be exactly like this, and it made me wonder if you were just going for content, because it reminds me of Dazed back in the day. You ever watch Dazed?
No.
Okay, he used to do this all the time. Look up the video Glocks for Counter-Strike. It's like, how did we lose to Glocks? What am I supposed to do? Right? Like, and it was really
died in
funny
15
content.
seconds. What am I
Really
supposed
funny
to do?
content. And he really believed, that's the thing, like, it was genuine. He believed in all these things that he was saying, right? So,
Jesus
Um,
fuck.
I guess I just, yeah, that feeling of, I don't know, when I
Helplessness?
start to feel, yeah, helpless, like, what, like I said, like, what am I supposed to do? I just fucking,
you make
Definitely
the
gets
best
to
of the
me.
situation. You make the best of the situation, right? So when people die like this, right? Instead of jumping in,
Spike planted.
that was so fucking bad.
instead of saying this to yourself, why don't you open your mic and say like, "Well, boys, I don't think whatever we did worked there. That wasn't the greatest move, right?" Or something
Yeah.
along those lines, where you can just like raise the positivity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, boys, I think we all can agree we could have played that round a little bit better, right?
2 fucking people. Like, what the fuck is this?
I think we've all had better rounds in the past. I don't want to tell my mom about this round.
Why are we stacked?
We don't talk about it.
Non-stop. Holy shit. What am I watching?
When my mom asked me how's my day go, I'm not going to talk about round number 4.
4 died
Right?
in 15 seconds.
Like
What
little
am I
fun
supposed to do?
comments like that, just to like lighten the mood.
Jesus fuck.
Because that will fuel the team, it'll fuel you, instead of taking away from your expectation of your teammates, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the mom one. I think the mom one's fun. You can use that one. Next time, if you make a TikTok and you ever have that situation, feel free to record it
Oh.
and tag me.
Okay, I will. I'll be like, joke courtesy worthy.
Okay, so we're deciding to play passive right now. They've wasted some stall utility, which is good.
Yeah, I played passives because the KO. I wanted to be able to use my util, so I pulled back there.
So I want to further emphasize how bad this fucking worthy wall is, because I get this shit all the time where people are like, well, we're just gonna flash through the wall and just like take fights. Well, look what happens here, right? First of all, he doesn't throw his flash right. 2 people die right away, so now it's a 5v3, and then it's a 5v or 4v2, right? And this happens so often, right? But people just autopilot this fucking wall and say, well, it's fucking good because I saw a pro player throw it, right? No, it's not. It's not fucking good. You need an actual plan behind it. Now, if you had someone lurking up middle or you had someone lurking in double doors, this could totally work, right? But go ahead. You were going to say something.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I think I had one game where I told my team I was
they
not going to
pushed?
do that wall, like, in advance. And they just straight argued with me, and I I think I was pretty calm this game too. I like explained to them, I was like, no, this is why I do the wall I do. And then they just like kept arguing with me. I was like, okay, well, no point, I guess. Apparently, this is the only wall people know how to use on Breeze.
Yeah, it's the only
It
it's
was
the only
funny.
effective wall that they're willing to do. You just say it like this. You just say, I'm gonna throw the wall the way that you throw it, and then maybe I'm gonna throw an orb into middle of titties, right? Into cleavage, if you want to call it that. And this is how I want to do it, so we're just gonna do it that way. And if anyone argues you on it, just be like, that's your problem. It's not mine. Just do it the way that you're gonna do it. You understand this concept more than they do, right? It's their own insecurity to try new things that's causing them to say those things. Okay, I like this. I'll get your teammate out of there. Your map isn't fully zoomed out either. Make sure.
Yeah, I
there's-
think I fixed it after this game. I fixed it the other day actually because I noticed that I hadn't noticed it before. So that's no longer an issue.
Level.
This guy's in a really bad position right now. What is he doing? Okay.
They pushed out main apparently, so he's looking to see if they're on site.
You would have seen them. What?
It was a joke.
Okay. Okay.
It was sarcasm. Sorry.
Okay.
That's the old. I don't know. I don't know why he's looking at site there.
So we're now in a 5v4, and we need to find a frag to make this more even for us. We don't have anyone on A site. Yeah, we basically lost this round now, right?
Yeah, I was really confused. I might have said something. I probably said something as to why I'm ulting B and no one's holding A. I was very, very confused. Not right now. I think like post round, like I probably wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. When did you make the decision to do this?
Usually,
Need a drop.
I don't know. I think I just kind of subconsciously
There.
decided
You just
that
talked over it, but
they were
here.
going B.
This is
Well,
what
I knew I was gonna go B and ult, but I think it was just because I felt like I don't know. I had like this intuition that they were going B.
Okay, the decision to do the ult happens here because this is when you announce it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where have you been for this entire game so far? Where have you been playing? Yeah, this is where the confusion comes in, right? Because now Sky is like, well, what the fuck? I usually play B on my own, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now she's in this situation where she's like, I don't know where the fuck to stand. That's why she's like flicking around like a Moran. And then nobody's over on A because it's completely confused everyone, right? So at the beginning of the round, when you hit tab, when you take a look at things, this is where you need to start talking about it. Say, I'm going to go alt B. Would you guys like to go stack A?
Gun here.
Pose it as a question. If they say no, then you'd be like, okay, I'm going to go alt A then. Okay? You're going to alt A main instead. And that would have been an option to do too, because you've been playing it the entire time. But at any rate, you need to be vocal, right? People can't read your mind. And this is actually going to be something that's going to be talked about several times throughout this VOD, communicating certain things. And we're not in a compromised state right now mentally. I think we're on the downslope, but we're not quite there yet. So we can't use that as our reason for not saying anything. But because of that, it throws everyone's positioning off. Everyone's kind of like a little bit of a headless chicken, and there's nobody over towards A, right? Because this doesn't make any sense. To me, this doesn't make any sense. And usually when something does not make any sense, it usually means that something was not communicated. I would say this is where your extreme ownership on this round comes into play. And what we really want to do, especially for your VOD here, is find ways to take extreme ownership for every little thing. Because if we can start wiring our brain for that, we take ourselves away from the blame game and focus more on yourself and what is it you can do. You have control over you. We've talked about that. And the problem with blaming is that when you blame, you stay the same. So if you want to stay Ascendant, continue to blame.
Okay.
That's your protocol. When I blame, I stay the same. So every time you catch yourself blaming someone, repeat it in your head. If I blame, I stay the same.
Okay.
Spike planted.
I got flash.
Ugh.
I didn't clear that corner.
Yeah. Is it Viper? I didn't see who killed you.
I didn't either. They were really fast. I looked away in shame.
Oh, I thought it would be Viper. Okay, so he's lurked through mid a few times. You actually caught him lurking on the second round, remember?
Yes.
Yep. Let's talk about this again. So this rotation I don't think is wrong.
Spike planted.
And I think what happens here is you start looking at your mini-map. No, you're looking, okay, so you're looking towards your screen, but you're running through enemy territory. So if we go back a little bit more, this comes back to threat assessment.
keying.
Yeah, this comes back to threat assessment, right? So as soon as we get to this point and we see things, everything up to this point right here, on this line, is a threat. Because nobody's looking at it, everyone's looking in this direction. So we don't know what's going on in this section of the map. So if we're going to be rotating through here, and it's the reason why I said we've lost this round, is because we need to clear a ton of different things before we can actually make it into the site itself.
I got flash.
So now everything is clear except for this corner that you're about to run through. So right now you can just take a second, just quickly look at it. Yeah, it's a tough rotate. You've already at this point, more so, you've already lost at this point of the round right here. You already lost here because we weren't even in a foothold or position where we could have defended a site or be in a position to be able to start your retake, right? Where they would have had the inability or inflexibility to even have been here at all. So this is where we lost the round, right? But you didn't feel the effect of that loss until the point where Phoenix shot you in the head, right?
He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent and taking his time too. We got to give him applause for that because like he is teaching us lessons, right? Our opponents are our greatest teachers. He's taking his time, hitting his shots. He's making sure that you're being punished, and I can appreciate that. And you should appreciate that too. Equal. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Welcome to the street. Okay, so that was a good call.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
It was already... So you might get angry that we're going to lose this round, but the round was already lost like 30 seconds before, right? You understand that part, right? So
Yeah.
when you realize that,
Take too long. We're letting her play our lineups.
losing this should not bother you. There comes a point in time where you've played enough that you can just feel when you've lost the round before you've lost it, and that's where you'll start having that heightened awareness of like, okay, we probably should just save here, because there's no chance we're gonna get back into this. So if you think about it, if we go back here, if you watch my how to clutch video, this gives you kind of an idea of how it works. But if you look at where people are on the map right now, if we move ahead, let's go to the point where the bomb gets planted, which is right here. Okay, so let me get a timer. I got a timer. Do you know how long the bomb timer is in this game? I can't even remember.
40 seconds, I believe.
40 seconds. Okay, so let's see how long it takes for us to get on site to a point where we can actually start defusing. Starting the timer right now. Are you a pro or just a coach? I used to be like a semi-pro. Hang on, I'm gonna reset this. Sorry, I'm just responding to chat. I used to be like a semi-pro. Like I used to play in LANs and stuff like that. I played with a lot of the pros that you guys know of right now. So like Baby Bay, Aaron, Coach Trippy, so from FaZe Clan and X Set. So I've got some pretty extensive knowledge playing with those guys and whatnot. But I would never say that I was pro because I never made a living off of it. I technically can make a living off it now through coaching. So I've been really enjoying the coaching aspect of it, and I just don't have enough time to compete anymore. So being able to empower people like you to become your best self, become the hero in your own journey, that's what I'm doing. What was my rank? My rank was Valorant back in beta. So I haven't really been playing ranked for the last couple of years. I've just been a spectator. And the reason why I'm here now is because I've seen how the pro scene's been playing and a few other people have been playing, and I really want to be able to give my best foot forward in terms of information to be able to help people like you get better. So appreciate you coming around, and I hope you enjoy the content. Okay, I forgot to, let's start again. I'm gonna start this timer again. This is an important point. Okay, so, oh, hang on. We'll start from here. There we go. So look at where everyone is on the map, and let's do a little count as to how long it's going to take for us to get into a position to start defusing this bomb.
Spike planted.
Okay.
I can flash.
So far, you're the only... Oh, sorry, pause it again. So far, you're the only person who could have been in position fastest, because no one else is moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is now 20 seconds. 25. We're now in a position.
Lineup, you gotta make something happen.
Now, 31 seconds. So there's 9 seconds left in this bomb.
Remaining. Last player standing.
Might be 45.
It's probably 45. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he had 14 seconds to frag 2 people and defuse the bomb, right? You just know at that
You
point,
guys to figure it out.
like pretty early, after you die, you should be like, just save. Because like your chances of being able to do that, like they have to throw, right? And we need to work under the assumption that they're probably not going to throw, because you're at a high enough rank, right? If you're playing in like silver or bronze, then fucking go for it every time, because you never know what's going to happen, right? But in this rank, they're probably not going to make those mistakes. They're probably not. It's very low percentage. So there's certain points in time where you're just like, we should just probably say this.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Is this the round? This is the round. Okay, let's go back a bit.
Oh, the round.
So, this is an interesting comment that you make.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die.
Probably forfeit.
Let's win and get out of here.
Not this one.
Oh no, I know what forfeit round you're talking about. That's in the second half.
No.
That's
no,
once we go to attack.
I'm
Oh,
not
it's
talking
not
about
that one.
forfeits. I'm just getting to the point where we're going to be talking about something.
Gotcha.
Oh wait, I think it might have been back.
Said I was ulting B and everyone rotated
Yeah,
off
on
the
my
A
way.
and mid. Because they shot one.
Know that.
Player.
Yeah, so that was an interesting comment that you made, right? And it further reflects the things that I was talking about before, right? When is the time to start talking about this stuff? People can't mind read you. Do it right from the beginning. And you should be aware at buy round that you're going to, or before you have buy round, because you were dead for a while, that you could have made that call instantaneously at the beginning of the round, right?
Yes.
Comes down to pre-round planning a lot of the time. Okay.
Joke's over. You're dead.
I think you end up saying something else here. Let me just listen to it.
Shot once. Just play your angles. Get it.
Yeah, you say just play your angles. He's playing lineups. Get mid or halls control positions on the map to allow for faster flanks. That was what I was going to say as being the fix, which we've already kind of talked about. So like a 1-3-1 is not a bad setup on this kind of a comp.
The hunt begins.
Okay, you already know they're going there, so that's good.
55 chamber, 55 viper.
And then yeah, it's very interesting that you've identified the lineup thing, right?
Spike planted.
Got him. Never a doubt.
That's my payback on Phoenix. Never doubt.
Never a doubt.
Not even close.
So it's very interesting that you identified that they're going to play lineups, right? And then you threw this wall,
Well, there's still the chamber.
who's probably long range.
Mm.
Yep,
One enemy remaining.
but he wasn't. I think you mollied yourself out so you can't chase him down. Yeah, you did. Oh, no, you didn't.
She
Okay.
fucked it up. She fucked it up.
Oh, was that important?
Last player standing.
And it worked out. But I was concerned a little bit because I've seen situations where Sage's wall, it was a lower rank, it was silver. Sage rolled off a main Viper, and the Viper's just like, oh, thank you, I can just slowly just put my lineups here without any stress. So it's like it's a little less of a infraction than Sage.
The lineup I'm used to seeing is the one from cannon, and then after they shoot it from cannon, they either rotate to elbow or window.
Whoever-
So I went to
someone
go
has learn
molly
to
elbow
play for the Viper
for after
lineup
they
so we don't
push
kill
the
her.
lineup, and then hold window.
Okay.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
So this round here is communication, positive reflection, blame, or victim mindset. So I think you made a call here. Let me just listen back to it about a setup.
Mid and play for the Viper lineup so we don't kill her.
Yeah, so you basically called a 1-3-1 without even knowing it. Let's just play back again, seeing here.
Someone has to lurk mid and play for the Viper lineup so we don't kill her.
Yeah, so this is actually like the groundworks of a 1-3-1, right? So a 1-3-1, essentially, just so you see it across the map, is one person A, 3 people mid, and 1 person on B. Now these 3 people mid don't necessarily have to be pushing through mid. You could see like 1 person on double door, 1 person in nest, 1 person in connector. That could be totally fine. But you could also organize pushes down middle, right, to gain map control, especially if you see a team that's rushing 5-man and they're playing all of their lineups and whatnot. It's not actually a bad move to start taking space right away. I'm not against that. So what you need to do to change the words and how you say this, because I think it's a good suggestion. So let's listen to what you say.
Someone has to lurk mid and play for the Viper lineup so we don't kill her.
So what you can say off the hop is say, I think a 1-3-1 here might work really well. Does anyone want to play mid with me? Who wants to play mid with me? Right? I think a 1-3-1 could work well because they're playing lineups and we can start flanking right away. What do you guys think? Open up to discussion. And if they agree with it, great. You got people on the same page, you're going to play really well in this next round. If people are against it, well, you've already made your decision, or you made your option open, and now you just got to play with it. Because there's going to be some people that are going to agree with you, and you'll end up winning those games. Some people that don't, and that's what it is. It is what it is at that point. At least you've vocalized at that point.
Yeah.
Bonne chance, mes
And
amis.
you've practiced a good habit.
Toxins going up.
Rena's
Okay, I like mollying the left-hand side as soon as you see that wall. Molly left hand side to keep him from pushing in. And I would also be calming that you saw 2 at A. How do I know that you have 2 at A?
Viper wall, and then in the gunfight with KO.
Yep.
Welcome to my world.
Okay, he's been doing that a lot, right? He's been pushing in like that quite a bit, so we need to be cognizant of that. Now, there's a very interesting part of this round that happens afterwards. We're going to get to the end once you die here. And you make this comment.
Spike planted.
Why does she never have dog? Where is Sky's dog? Why does she never have dog?
Okay? It's a very interesting round altogether, right? Because this communication to yourself is kind of playing into a role called the victimhood mindset, or the victimhood fantasizer, where you know it's Sky's fault that I'm not winning this round, right? Where in reality there was a bunch of things that we could have done to be able to keep ourselves alive and be in a better position. A lot of the times we get into these mindsets because we've either made a bad play and we don't want to admit it to ourselves, and a lot of the times when we don't do this, it ends up hurting us in the long run more than anything, right? It's kind of like taking a hammer and smashing your hand in, but convinced that if you continue to do that, it's a good idea. You know what I mean? But you just keep doing it over and over again. So what we want to do is, let's do just a deep dive on this. You said, you know, why doesn't Sky have her dog? Let's take a look. Because here's the thing. We have not walked 1,000 miles in Sky's shoes. We don't know why she doesn't have dog. So if we go back into it, we can take a look and watch her on the minimap.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
And what she does here, I don't think is a bad play in particular. She does her dog right off the start. You know she does her dog. You can hear it.
Toxins going up.
And she identifies that Reyna is on B.
Reyna's B.
You even hear her saying that. You hear Lynn saying that. Right? Now, here's the difference between Lynn and you. We've already talked about it. Lynn made a call that there's one B.
Reyna's B.
I did not make any call.
How many did you call? Yeah.
None.
How many did you call?
Yep.
Right? So before we can start blaming Lynn for the dog, which gave you information that there's possibly not a full push here, you also didn't do the same thing for her to get her in a better position to be able to rotate to help you. Right?
Yeah.
You had a due diligence that you ignored. Now, if we continue to watch Sky, let's watch her impact on this round.
Welcome to my world.
Phoenix pushed out already.
I thought for sure she was going to kill Reyna there. But anyways, she does all that stuff, fights 1v1. It's fine. The entire time this is happening, you're not calling
Reyna's
like anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's very unfair right now to be focusing on Sky. You agree?
Agreed.
Okay, cool.
I agree.
Phoenix pushed out already.
Reyna's window on B.
And there's another analogy to think about too, right? It's like you've flown on a plane before, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. The stewardess will always say, if you get into a situation where the masks come down, you got to put a mask on yourself first, right? You got to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. So it's like added stress to your life when you're thinking about, how do I help this guy, when you haven't helped yourself first. You got to take care of yourself before you can start taking care of others, more than anything, right? So you're putting more pressure on yourself to coach this player on how he's doing his dog in your own mind than you are thinking about what it is I need to do this next round, for example.
Never have dog.
So just think about your dispersal of energy, where it's going.
Why does Sky never have dog? Holy shit! What is
That's
she
the only thing I'm
using
worried
it on?
about.
Yeah,
And
don't worry about Sky's utility, right? We're playing ranked right now. We're playing ranked.
Yeah.
In fact, when I'm playing or I'm coaching my Radiant teams, at any point when someone starts questioning why someone didn't have something or something didn't go right in that exact moment, I say, stop, guys. What's going on this round? Stay present. Because we can't control what happened last time or last round, but what we can do is we can save it for post talk, right? We'll have a VOD review afterward. We'll sit down. We'll talk about it as a team. We'll discuss why we did certain things, because we only have our own perception, and our own limited perception is oftentimes wrong, right?
Yeah.
There was a function for this dog that she threw, but we didn't see that.
That was good. Nope.
Okay, so this round is positioning, minimap awareness, understanding the role of the anchor, okay? So, fair to say you're probably a little tilted right now
Oh yeah.
for something you couldn't control. So we're using a ton of energy on things that we couldn't control. So you decide to change the way that you play. Now, I'm going to go through the fundamentals because this session's not just for you as well, it's also for chat. When we play the left-hand side, and we're this far left, or the farthest left character, chat, you can chime in too. What position are you playing on the map? What's your role? Do you know what it's called?
Me, the anchor.
Yeah, the anchor, correct. The anchor has specific rules, right? The anchor needs to go down with the ship, so that means they're rotating last, usually. The anchor also, in my rule, must exist for as long as humanly possible. The reason for this, especially on a map like Breeze, where it's really, really big, we need to create time for our team to rotate into the bomb site to be able to support us and protect the bomb site from being planted on, right? And to get them in better position so they can take better fights. You just staying alive enables and causes impact passively without you even knowing it. So being able to do that and staying alive is a really, really big piece, okay? You have decided as an anchor, and there's times when this could work, right? But you're playing what I call a one and done angle, okay?
Okay.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Now, if we'd done an assessment, we would probably be able to say at the beginning that there is a threat. Let's go back. There's a threat here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do your scoreboard assessment. What do we have to worry about?
Phoenix Ult, Chamber Ult.
Phoenix Ult and Chamber Ult, 100%. So the angle that you're actually playing right now, if he had gotten Chamber gotten the orb, you probably would have been picked off. So I'm guessing when you hit tab, you probably looked at your KDA, right?
Yeah.
Most people do. You're in good company. Right? But there's a lot of information here that we've been like, okay, well, you know, there's danger here. Now let's go back again. Let's look at this.
I also have a really bad habit of like quickly just looking for the readies. I have a bad habit of not actually seeing like someone's one off or anything like that. It's like it's either ready or it's not in my mind a lot of times.
You're already 70% better than most of my students. All right? You're already better because you're looking at readies, which is amazing, right? Now, what else do we need to worry about?
Their eco.
It's unlikely we'll see this, but what about their eco am I concerned about? What do you think?
An op.
An op, 100%, right? Because they have 7,000. So how you're peaking these angles is going to change because you need to be aware that there's a potential they could buy an op. There's also potential they can pick up an orb and have another op. There's a potential Phoenix can pick up an orb and decide to use his ult as a scout to figure out what is going on in particular bomb sites. These are the things I'm worried about. There is a timing here. I do believe that if VIPER were to buy an op for his teammate, you could die. I think it comes up in a second. I could be wrong. No, I'm wrong. I think there was a point in time where I thought I could have seen that, but maybe it was another round.
You're dead.
Poison orb.
Okay. When we're playing against Phoenix alt, it's kind of like going out on New York City streets, butt naked, running through traffic, right? And not really worrying about the consequences, because there are no consequences. Okay. So the way that a Phoenix, this is a good learning for you, the way that a Phoenix will play is risk-free. You know, why not jump through like this? Why not? Because the only thing that's going to go wrong is nothing, right? But everything is possible of going right. Could he have done this better? 100% he could have done this better. But we need to be fully cognizant that this guy is ready, willing, and able to commit suicide naked running through New York City. He doesn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And this is why we die, right? And I think you actually handle this pretty well.
I don't have a single person on A with me.
Okay, never mind. You don't handle it well. Okay, so if we look back, right, you're in a position where you're kind of stuck. You can fall back because you're lucky because he was throwing a friggin' molly at you, but generally speaking, you probably would have died a little sooner than that, right? Because you're in that stuck position, and you're not in a position that you can help your teammates, you know, get rotated into a better position to be able to fight with you.
I don't have a single person on A
Right?
with
So,
Yeah.
when you're alone on site, you're restricted to playing certain angles. If you play close up, you must secure 2 frags. Okay?
Standing.
If you can't secure 2 frags, then that position is not worth it.
me. This is where the team is. All over. And
I'm glad that you
Yeah,
pointed that
yeah.
out, because if you knew the team was there all over, you wouldn't be over here. You'd probably be
Yeah.
playing titties, right?
they
And I'm-
fucking one by
yeah.
one by one.
Go ahead.
And I'm pretty sure later in the round I make another comment, and I pretty much just call myself out on being a hypocrite. So, you know, we'll get there.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
It has to do with the jet.
And
Yeah,
it's
I've watched this video quite a few times myself, and I'm like, oh my god, I hate myself.
it's not a no. It's fine. This is learning, man. This is learning. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay? We've all been there. We're human, right? We don't like to be wrong. You know, generally speaking, we don't want to be wrong. We don't like to be wrong, but it's good to be wrong every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
It allows for learning. So, don't be hard on yourself. I just want to identify things so that you can better prevent it in the future.
You want to play? Let's play.
And here's the thing too, right? You're mentally and emotionally compromised right now. So we got to give you a break. We've already proven, you know, through studies that you're not going to be making the best decisions in the world. And that's totally fine.
On B.
Classic go.
This is kind of reminding me of round number 2,
Sucks.
but you have a
Yeah.
teammate with you.
Well, I thought I messed up my drop order, and I thought my classic would be there, so I could actually fight the longer angles, which is why I was like, wait, where'd my classic go? Because I tried setting it up to where I'd have something if I needed to fight mid, or at least something better than a shorty.
Fair enough. Okay, so they have B bomb site right now,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been conditioned every single round to be worried about what on post plant.
The stall, the mollies, the lineups.
The lineups, exactly. Okay, so let's watch this.
Spike planted.
I don't go and play for the lineups.
You're challenging the lineup. This is all good, but let me ask you a question. Are you safe?
No.
Okay. Are you safe?
No.
Correct. You're not safe. You're not safe. The entire time I was watching this round, I was like, gun out, gun out, gun out, gun out. Viper's gonna fucking swing you. And of course it was Viper, because Viper's gonna play the lineups, right? Viper's gonna be here.
Player standing.
Let's go back. Let's go back. What was going through your mind here?
That she'd be further back, so I could put the wall up and then push through the wall. Or play back. I didn't think, so I knew Chamber and Phoenix were on site. I thought Viper would be back towards like cannon or spawn. I didn't think she'd be pushing elbow if she was playing lineups.
Okay.
Or not Phoenix, Reyna. Was
Yeah,
my mindset. I was not ready for her to be there.
I just wanna take my camera away for a second just so we can see it. There we go. Now everyone should be able to see your expression of pure disgust and upsetness. Yeah, so
Why you gotta do that to me? Why you gotta throw me under that bus?
no, I'm not throwing it under any bus. Right, so the rule and the protocol, and this is something that's happened several rounds already. Whenever we're facing a threatening angle, right, we have to gun out. We have to gun out, right? You're not the person that's probably going to be playing for the defuse right now. Your teammates are going to. You're playing to win the round by catching everyone off guard and flanking them, okay? So you're not going to be the primary diffuser. You're going to be the primary, let me get on B site through B main and control that entire section of the map, right? So you've got a role to play in this 3v4. So you need to gun out right now because you just basically need to clear out this back end.
What does you say? When in doubt, guns out?
When in doubt, gun out. Yeah, 100%. It's another good protocol for you. But essentially speaking here, you're facing a threat. Right now, if we're to draw an imaginary line, the threat is here. Okay?
Okay.
Threat is all along here. This is where all the enemy is. So as soon as we face that imaginary line that we just drawn, our gun needs to be out. Now you can do this in your head when you're looking in the mini-map. You're like, okay, I don't have anyone looking at elbow right now. That means there's a threat. There's a chance that there could be someone there. What if there was someone on your right now, right? Possible. Unlikely, but possible. So these are the things you need to be thinking about.
Last player standing.
These new friends of ours are not too friendly.
Need a drop.
And once again, I think you were just mentally compromised here. I think if you were in a better state of mind, you probably would have been able to take those things in and be aware of that. But
Yeah.
I really appreciate this VOD, right? Because you're helping a ton of people, not just yourself. I want you to like champion that mindset, because I've talked about this stuff happening in weeks prior where people get affected and the effect of it. And this is giving me evidence and proof, like real proof of how your mental will change the way that you play, right? Anger is a very, very powerful thing. Emotion's a very, very powerful thing.
Poison orb.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Okay, I'm having flashbacks of a lot of different things, right? So what do we
No
know?
problems.
What do we know about Phoenix's ult?
He will go risk-free.
He will run through New York naked. Okay, the streets of New York naked. All right, let's not get it twisted. Okay, so when we see that, I have flashbacks of a few pathing decisions that he makes. Right, we've seen him run and fly through mid titty. He's probably not going to do that because he hasn't seen you. I think he'll probably path through here and run through this wall and try to kill you. Right, so being ready for that is important. Okay, so you ran into that wall. Anyways, gun switch here. Why the gun switch? Is it because it looks cool?
Honestly, it's just a bad habit I have.
It's because it looks cool. Be honest with
I
me.
Yeah, sure. Gotta show the karambit,
like,
obviously.
bam.
Gotta flash it real quick.
Rotate that shit. Fucking looks sick.
Flash it.
Oh, god damn.
Yeah.
Man, I was a
Out in
little
the
worried.
open. No
I was
info.
I was a little worried about it, but you have your wall, so
Spike planted.
unlikely, but a chance.
Playing your lineups. Playing your lineups.
Poison orb emitting.
One enemy remaining.
Who did Sky kill? I didn't see that. Anyways, dude.
Killed the Phoenix at some point. I think back in spawn.
How demoralizing.
So here's what you can do, okay? If you're not gonna play a 1-3-1, right? What other setups could you potentially do to counter someone lining up or setting up lineups for A to make them, you know, not wanting to do it or scared to do it? It's another part of the map you can control.
Flank?
Yeah, we've talked
Are
about
you
that.
talking about, are you
There's
talking
another
about,
one.
like,
We've talked about
Halls?
mid. Yes. Halls is such a fucking underrated position in the map, right? Because if you control Halls, they're constantly worried about flanks on A, right? Halls is so powerful. It's very, very underrated. People don't talk about it enough. So sometimes having a 1-2-1-1 is actually not a bad idea, right? And just having someone, like, say for example, an Opper, hold a position and let one rifler move up. They don't necessarily have to be, you know, fighting for the space or, you know, taking a fight. But if you control that hallway position, you pretty much lock down A on its own, especially against a comp like this.
Last round in the half.
Extremely underrated position, for sure.
oh, not this round.
I wrote here, I never wish my students to just die, but I kinda hoped you would here. We're about to see it.
Just running right across me with a knife out. Let's go.
Oh. Oh. Man, oh 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 man. Stress.
Confidence is key, Worthy. What do you mean? I was so confident. I was so confident. What do you mean?
Yeah. Confident you're walking into your funeral, my friend. Holy crap.
I wasn't zoned out or anything like that. Nah. Why would I do that?
When in doubt, gun out. Okay? These protocols will be repeating in your head. These are all really important moments in your life where you're like, fuck, you know, I could quit Valorant right here, right now. This is it. You know? Like, they could be right in my face. And I don't even know it. So, when in doubt, gun out.
Toxins going up.
You recovered there by pulling your gun out on your second peek. You weren't ready for that one either, but you did recover.
Spike planted.
Minus B window.
Welcome to my world. Toxin screen down.
Okay, here's what you gotta do. Alright? Guess what you're playing right now? You're playing Valorant. You just got Valoranted. Shit happens. Shit fucking happens, man. You know, shit happens. We just like I gotta
That's
show
some
the, I gotta show the face
bullshit.
again. I gotta show the face
That
again,
was
man.
some bullshit.
It's such a great face. It's
Four
like-
bullets, my fucking ass.
this the look of like, fuck, man. The look of like, how did this happen? How did this happen to me? Yeah, 4 bullets, 101 damage. Shit happens, bro. Bro, shit happens, man. Yo, if I could hug you, man, I would, man. I'd reach through my screen and say it's gonna be okay, right? But guess what? You are playing a video game, and when you play a video game, shit happens, right? There's a lot of random shit that happens in this game. That's why I stopped competing for a long time, because I felt like there were so many random RNG elements that I couldn't control. And I was like, how can I really judge skill on this? But there's obviously other things you can do, but this shit happens, and we just need to let it go. Just need to let it go. It's okay. The eyes, man. Gonna look at the eyes again. Look at
What do you fucking mean?
So
Four
fucking
bullets.
confused.
I love the reaction.
Another one made.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Last
Um,
player standing.
But yeah.
Can we skip post round?
You want to skip this round? Or skip this part?
That was a joke. I was kidding.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so we're going into offense now.
Jet's peeking. She knows she's solo.
The
Can't
hypocrisy.
There it is.
Yep,
There it is. There it is. Yep. Yeah. So what I said here was like, "Hey, man, that's great advice." Here, let's listen to that. Let's listen to the whole thing. Okay.
Oh god.
No thanks.
Come on.
Jet's peeking. She knows she's solo. Can't fucking die.
So I said,
God,
"Hey,
I'm so
man."
smart.
So I said, "Hey, man, that's great advice. Hang on, didn't something like this happen to you a few rounds ago with a shock face?" I wrote that in the comments. I'll make sure I send all these notes to you. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta vent, right? Sometimes you gotta vent. I hear that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I give you a compliment here. This is the Viper wall that I do. I also throw an orb in between titties. Okay. This allows you a little more space. If they end up swinging you here, it's a 1v4. I'm cool with that. Right? Or 1v4, 1v5 sometimes. Whatever it is that people will play in ranked.
Yes, pull yourself.
So this is
Yeah.
the wall. This is the wall. It doesn't. So here's the reason why this wall is good too, because I think people will say that, well, they can just run to this wall and fight you here. It's like, okay, well, they're gonna run through blind against 4 people, then that's their own business. If they end up getting a good situation happening from that, then all the power to them. That's great. This covers stairs. It covers back yellow, which gives you a lot more space on the bomb site. If you have the orb down the center, you don't have to worry about people peeking you from here, right? I would say the only thing about this wall in particular is it changes a little bit once there's an op, right? We need to modify a little bit. I would say that the mid wall is probably a better option at that point, but this wall here is totally fine. Okay, so you throw the orb here afterwards, it eliminates all the angles. The only thing you have to worry about is this angle, which, by the way, is something that you would have to worry about with the standard worthy wall that I don't like, and then you have to worry about this one right here. That's pretty much it, the 2 fights, which is really good for when your duelists are trying to take space and knowing exactly where the enemy could be coming from. This also gives you free reign to move up a little bit more easily and take a fight on someone who's back titties with a little bit more ease and not worrying too much about random angles that can kill you.
Toxins going up.
In sight.
So the wall actually needs to be tilted slightly more this way, okay, just so that it covers the stairs and so people have a harder time being able to see over it. But other than that, it was good.
Phoenix and stairs.
Our spike carrier killed.
And a slight little
Spike
change in
down
height
A.
is the difference that you need.
Bye. Reloading.
Toxin screen down.
Now, still, I don't agree with 5 people going cave, right? If you go 1 person through halls, that's better. Or 1 person through mid, late, that's better. Or doing a split from cave and mid, that would be really good. But yeah,
Be fast.
because when you go 5-man cave, shit like this happens usually.
Last player standing.
Toxins going up.
OD26
Why
makes
are
a
we
really
taking
good
a
video
fight with Spike?
further emphasizing, this
Spike, Raina?
situation.
Just come fucking plant the shit.
I think he does a really good job capturing it on his TikTok.
We're waiting until my util goes down. Just get the fuck over here.
Okay, so you muted everybody at this point. I'm sure they're not your biggest fan after saying stuff like this.
Yeah.
Does not serve the team. It does not serve the team. You can't control them. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. Just do what you can.
Why are we taking a fight with Spike, Raina? Just come fucking plant the shit.
Yeah, like you're really focused on what everyone else is doing.
Phoenix and stairs.
Yeah.
Our spike carrier killed.
Yeah.
Down A. I have the spike.
Wall's going downstairs.
Bye. Reloading.
Toxin screen down.
Be fast.
Should have just taken it from the beginning and done it myself.
Last player standing.
Yeah, I would say that would be one feedback, right?
Why are we taking a
Because
fight?
Reyna
A spike,
wants to
Just
try
don't
to take
fucking plant the
space.
Shit.
Reyna wants to take space. Reyna shouldn't have had the bomb.
We're not.
Yeah.
We're waiting until my util goes down. Let's get the fuck over here.
Started to just lose it.
Yeah, it's a downward spiral here.
We're not fucking forcing. You guys can fucking play it out. If you don't want to calm, you don't want to play as a team, cool. Suck for the whole game.
Do you guys end up winning this game?
You just want to play for KD.
What did you say?
Do you guys end up winning this game?
We do win this game.
Isn't that hilarious? You guys have tried to forfeit.
Define hilarious.
Well, you guys have tried to forfeit this game twice now, and then you guys
Three
come
times.
back and 3 times. Is it? Okay, 3
At the
times.
start of this half, they tried to forfeit. Like
Is-
the moment we got on attack side.
Isn't that a great lesson, though? You know, I often say, has there been moments where you guys were so down bad that it looked like all the odds were against you, but you still found a way to come back and win it? Has there been moments in your career when you've been playing this game?
Yeah.
course.
I came back from an 11-1.
Of course. So this game is never, ever over until one team gets to 13 rounds, right? It's never over. And we need to be thinking about it like that. And one of the mentalities I often teach students is that every round is a brand new game. All these rounds that have happened before don't matter, because right now it's just about the situations that have come to pass to create this particular round, this particular game, and this particular moment. Staying present is so important. And every game can always turn around and go in your favor at any point in time.
I have the spike.
The Real Mink says the map low-key is attacker-sided if you have a compliant attacking team. Well, we're in state right now. You didn't get to see it, Minx, but we're kind of having a war internally, right? Which is often what happens with ranked games. So it will be difficult, but apparently we will be, spoiler alert, winning this game.
Toxin screen down.
Should've just fucking gone. It's a goddamn eco. Why am I sitting here?
Yeah, just try to find any kind of frag here.
Last player standing.
I like it. If you got that kill, it would have been good. 2 kills down would have been decent. This is the situation where could your wall be?
Oh, worthy. Well,
Worthy wall. The one that I don't like, but this situation is actually really good because what are we trying to do? What's our bare ass minimum?
get spiked down, get 2 kills.
Spike down 2 kills would be amazing, right? That's $300 in everyone's pocket, plus the extra 400, I think it is, for the frags. Plus now we're going into the next round with a good chance of winning because it's not a bonus, right?
Toxin screen down.
So being mindful, right? This kind of follows under the same rule of worthy wall, right? We've autopiloted this wall a little bit. And we've thrown it because we're used to thinking about that, but we're not critically thinking about what it is that we want to do, what our intention in this round is. So if we throw this wall here, and let's say that they push through it, that was a terrible draw. Let me try that again. Fuck. I can't control my mouse anymore. But let's say we throw this wall right here, and then they push through here to prevent our plant. We're now forcing close range fights, and that's really good for us. I'm cool with that, right? Anyone taking space on us on this wall is going to be forced in close range fights. I'm cool with that in the situation, right? Does it give us an opportunity to plant the bomb? Yeah, 100%. I'm cool with that. There's a well thought out plan as to why you're throwing the wall the particular way.
Last player standing.
And here's a fun strat. So next time you do your eco, if you throw the wall that way, if you start with the wall being thrown that way early round, what are they going to do? You're
Push.
conditioning them. They could, yeah, but you're conditioning them when you see that wall, right? If you're on defense, the path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent. I say this all the time, right? You throw this wall on your eco. What are they gonna do? Potato Taco, how's it going? What are they gonna do?
Say they're going AAA.
Yeah, you're conditioning them. So what could you do as a different strat? You could walk, explode, contact B, and plant the bomb on your eco. Cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
conditioning.
that makes sense.
You're psychologically conditioning the opponent to seeing certain things. Great to have you, Potato Taco. Welcome in.
They're nothing but flies.
No, you're not interrupting, Potato. Anyone in chat, feel free to ask questions at any point in time. It helps with the learning, and sometimes there's things I don't see that could help the student as well. So, and this goes for you too, this guy. Feel free. What do you like me to call you, by the way?
My name's Daniel, if you want to call me Daniel.
Okay.
Or you can just call me Guy, or... Yeah.
We'll go with Daniel. So Daniel, if you have any questions, feel free to like interrupt me at any point in time. Okay, so the effect.
I did more of a mental gather than any type of game analysis before this round. Didn't really look at anything, didn't really... Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. We'll do that here now. Aloha Gavin says exploding contact means that once you get into a fight, you execute. Yes. So if you walk on B and then you explode on the first contact you get on an enemy, let's say you get no contact, everyone's rotating. You just walk in, plant the bomb. It's all good, right? Just continue to walk. But as soon as you take that contact, everyone pushes in and shoots them. Any advice on someone, me, Heartsuck, Silver, on how to improve? There's a lot of different things. Lego works. A lot of different things that could be holding you back on that. My best advice to you would be to VOD review and take a look and be critical on things that you think are holding you back. Compare yourself to pros. Hire a coach. Doesn't necessarily have to be me. Hire a coach. Get someone to look at your stuff and give you feedback. Ask your friends, right? I have a question. How do I make my duo not yell at me? I hear back rubs help a lot, right? Back rubs, massages, those things can help a lot. Get him a drink. I don't recommend it, but get him a drink. I solo queue and play on 78 plus ping. Okay, well, if there's a better server, go on to that one. If you don't have that option, then improving your internet through exit lag and other things can help you a little bit to bring that ping down. It's an app, a program. Meeseek, good to see you. Welcome in.
Play the ping advantage that you have.
Play the ping advantage. Yeah, there's a really good. Let me switch this. What was the guy's name in Counter-Strike that used to do that all the time? You know who I'm talking about?
I do, but I don't remember.
Oh fuck! It's the CS:GO player swings with high ping. Let me just write that. in there.
Lots of wide swings. Lots of wide swings.
Yeah, wide swings. There's a pro player, CS:GO pro player that does it. He was amazing online. Zantaris. Okay, how bad ping helps an onliner perfect his deadliest peak. Okay, I'm gonna send this to you guys in chat, and you can look at it afterward. Right. So anyone who has high ping, you can do this. Right. It works the same way in Valorant. It works the same way in Valorant as well. High ping, Peeker's advantage. It's good stuff. Okay. Why do I have Dragon Ball Super Ultra Instinct here? Okay. Anyways, let's go back. I just saw a video pop up, Ultra Instinct. But yeah, add that to your playlist and take a look at it. It's like a legitimate thing, right? See how they do it. Peeker's advantage. Okay, so in this round, we talked about conditioning the team, right? Last two rounds, what did you do? You guys went A, right? And you threw the same wall. This is now your third time. So instantaneously, that's going to make people rotate really quick. So what I was going to recommend, same strat, throw that wall, but this time have everyone walk to explode on contact on B. And then just take B. because they're probably going to be over rotating on this wall, right? It's early round and they're already taking space on mid like there's nobody threatening them over here, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to be moving actively. Corgi, how's it going? Welcome in. Have you been a coach a long time? I've been a personal trainer and coach, life coach, all that good stuff for 7 years now. And I've been a player of Counter-Strike and other clones like it for about 16 to 18 years. Since I was like 12, so I'm 30 now. I've been competing. In the last 2 years, I wasn't really playing too much. It popped on when COVID was in its height, and I started playing Valorant in beta. I played with people like Baby Bay from FaZe Clan, Coach Trippy from FaZe Clan, Aaron, a bunch of other guys, people that we used to compete with in Crossfire. So I've been coaching now for this entire year. I think it's coming up on February would be my 1 year where I've been coaching consistently. But I've been advising people and coaching and teaching this stuff since I was young, actually. And all the same situations happen over and over and over again in all these games. They're all very similar. So it's like protocols that I've learned and taught myself when I was learning how to play. All the things that I'm teaching Daniel today, the words that I say, you know, some of the protocols, what have I said to you today?
When in doubt, guns out. There's a fucking lot. Be self-critical.
It's more of the fun words, like when in doubt, gun out. The path to victory is through the eyes of the opponent. Like,
yes.
Like these protocols that I would say regularly. The safety dance protocol, for example. That one we haven't seen here. What else have I said before? What other ones have I said, guys? I keep forgetting all of them.
Yeah, so do I. There's a lot.
I got a whole bunch. I got a whole list of protocols. Whenever I see it, I'm like, oh, this is this protocol. It's this protocol, right? So yeah, it's all protocols that I developed over years of being punished over and over again, and just like, how do I deal with this situation, right? Like that, for example, that was when in doubt, gun out, right? Let me go back. This is when in doubt, gun out. Because you're not ready to take this potential fight, and you're facing a dangerous angle right now, right? That's another, and just all you gotta do is like take these protocols. You can use your own words, but just repeat it in your head whenever you see a situation. You're like, hey, what was that problem? That problem was this. Now I know how to identify it, how to deal with it better in the future. I've learned something new from it. I see. Nice to know you. Awesome. Welcome in. Reth, how you doing? Day's been really good. I don't want to make this a negative thing or anything like that. My grandmother did pass away, so it is a little bit tough, but it was expected. She's 94, so it was time. It was time for her to go. Aaron, yes. How's everyone in chat? Welcome, guys. Everyone's vibing. Love it. Okay, so let's keep going. It was her time. It was her time, Ref. No worries. Okay, so this round, I want to go back a little bit. And you check your phone here, and I'm just going to repeat this lesson again because there's some new people in the chat right now. But every time you look at your phone, anytime you look away from things, it ruins your flow state. It ruins your ability to focus. It ruins your ability to put the blinders up and really take in all the information that's really important for you on this particular round, right? So in this situation, you look at your phone, and as soon as you look at your phone, your attention span and your attention to detail decreases significantly. For the next 40 minutes, it takes that long for you to refocus on the actual situation in hand, okay?
Okay.
And you can look this up on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Google as well. You know, according to a recent study published in the Journal of Behavioral Addictions, I actually wrote this down in your notes. Using your phone in between important tasks decreases your ability to focus. The findings suggest that it's best to try not to look at your phone while doing things that require your full attention, such as work, projects, or riding your bike. That would be examples of it, right? So, and like I said before, there's so much going on in game while you're dead and by phase that you need to be focused on. So if you're looking at your phone, you're just not paying attention to what the game, what the universe is trying to tell you and what to warn you about, right? Okay, there's a situation here when we go into the site where, so now if you look at your minimap, because there's no fear to look at your minimap, I think you're actually looking in that direction. Your team, the brunt of the force is going towards mid. Now, whenever the brunt of a force is going to a certain direction, right, and you are alone, what does this make you? What's the position that you're in now? It's a one word. Whenever you're alone, go ahead.
It's not still anchor on attack, is it?
It's not anchor on attack. It's another word.
Lurk.
Lurk. Yes, it's a lurker.
Lurk.
Shy
Okay,
Goddess
I was like,
says
wait.
vulnerable. Shy Goddess says vulnerable, which is true. You are vulnerable when you're on your own. You are vulnerable, and that leads into my next point. Right? When you are lurking, when you are anchor, what is the rule?
You have to live.
You have to exist. That's another protocol. When you lurk, when you anchor, you aim to exist. Okay? The longer you stay alive, the more of a threat you are to the enemy team. So, for example, let's say you were just to take a couple shots through here right now, and they know because you killed someone through B that there's people there, but they don't know how many people are there. You actually help it. You create impact by doing that and helping these guys path in through mid just by taking 1 or 2 shots through there. The effect of that on the psychology is like next level shit, because they can't see. They have a smoke wall here, right? But they know that there's people back here. They just don't know how many are there. So this creates a little bit more of an option for your team when they're moving into the site, for example. Okay? So thinking about that. But if you were to die here and you weren't making that noise, right? All of a sudden, that whole factor, that impact that you could have without doing any kind of frags does not exist anymore, right? Does not exist. It creates pressure, Reth, correct. Right? So you just like shooting at all here, it actually will make this a whole different fight for this Viper, for everyone running in here. Now,
So,
go ahead.
okay. I was just saying, so my thought when I did this, when I originally made this play, was they saw me elbow, my team was shooting main, and then we killed the Reyna. So the last place they saw me was up elbow, so I used the Viper smoke to go, and then with them making all that noise, because my team was W King, I put my wall up to make them think that we were now rotating mid to nest. So, which is what I was trying to do, was bait out the person backside. And it ends up working like the way I pictured it in my mind. But that was just so you can kind of get an idea of like what I was thinking when I did this play. That's why I didn't shoot, and why I like tried to cut noise so they thought that we all left, since
Okay.
they last saw me with elbow.
I like your thought process here. The issue is that what is Viper thinking when she starts firing at these guys?
They're going mid, right? No?
Well, she's
That right,
firing
yes.
at them. She's firing at them, and B connector. Right? Let's go back. Right? She's firing at them and B connector. So if you're Viper, what are you communicating?
Toxins.
What are you communicating at this point?
They're going B?
They're going B. Right? So they're not worried about nest anymore. Right? Now here's the kind of infraction that could have gone wrong for you. Right? You're a lurker. You need to exist.
Going up.
First of all, I would prefer, in my opinion, right, I prefer the 4 people take the dry fight on the Viper.
Okay.
I understand where you're coming from with this. Here's the reason why. You're now going in alone. Potato Taco brought it up. Why are we peeking that alone? Right? You're actually forcing a 1v1 right now, which could be really bad for a few reasons. We have 5 people alive. They have 4. They're looking for an equalizer. As soon as you put this wall up, Viper doesn't need to worry about that. She can come strafing out looking at main and trying to force something, right? She can actually path herself in a certain position to be against this wall right here, to not peek out on anyone maybe running through, and look straight at A main and try to force a fight if she wanted to, okay? And they're going to look for that because guess what? When they're down men, they're going to be at a lower percentage to win the round. So they need to try to find something that's going to equalize them. Now, how could this go really bad for you? You have the bomb as well, right? And you've basically just said to your team, I'm going to take this 1v1 alone because I don't need your help anymore. You can't even help me. You can't assist me, right? So this is where the danger comes in. And sure as the light of day, I actually haven't watched this round yet, okay? I had to stop early because I got 4 people. Sure as the light of day, look at that. Look at that peak, right? There's no risk for them to do that. And this could have gone really, really wrong. Luckily, Wallen 12 is not a good player, right? Wallen 12 is not a good player, but if this was Shroud, if this was Potato Taco, if this was Tens, they're probably dead, right?
Yeah.
And this round looks a lot different now because the bomb is down. They have full control. Things change very quickly. In fact, you were not ready for this fight either. You can see that in your shooting error, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is another alarm signal. You're very lucky to hit that shot, right?
Can't be killed.
One enemy
KO is really
remaining.
close to you, by the way. He could have ran through the smoke. Okay, never mind. He's dead. But he could have ran through the smoke on you, on this wall.
Toxin screen down.
So I think you had a good mindset on it. But the one thing that we need to understand too is, generally speaking, this is more effective in eco rounds, right? When you're on eco rounds, walls and smokes typically aren't our friend. When we're up in numbers, it kind of follows the same setup, right? There's some situations where you definitely want to have smokes, right? But if you were to have smokes up on, say, like random spots on the map, for example, I'd be fucking terrified running into that bomb site, right? For obvious reasons, right? Because this is like, you're just asking to get ratted on. You're just asking to get it, right? So these walls here could work for the opponent when they're down in men. It's kind of almost like a surrogate they're on eco, right? Super glad I found your TikTok. It's super helpful. How can I get coaching? You can follow me on all the socials. Thank you so much, Potato, for putting that in there. Might have to make you a moderator, my friend. Add me on Discord, join the community, send me a message, and we can set up something. We'll talk about pricing and whatnot. Right now, I'm currently charging $50 per session, but even if you can't afford it, hop on to Discord. I'm posting regular content all the time on my YouTube, on my TikTok. Open to having conversations with you guys, even if you can't afford it right now. Maybe down the line you can't afford it, and that's totally fine. But we're all here to create a community that helps build each other. So if you want to jump on the Discord and start, grouping with people, play on the Discord, feel free. I'd love to see that. If I come home from work and I see a group of 5 people, 5 students getting together and playing ranked together, that's awesome. I'd love to see that, right? So you're in a community of like-minded individuals that just want to improve and get better. Okay. 21. Let's see. Scoreboard threat assessment is what I said on this one. Let's take a look here.
Thank you.
Did you hit tab? Did we hit tab? Let's see if we hit tab. Alright, guys. Predictions in chat. Did he hit tab? Did he hit tab at the start of the round? Did he hit tab? Let's see. Didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. Still don't have it. Oh! We had it for a second. Had it for a second. And let's see if I can pause it. Oh, no, that's so fast, dude. Holy shit. That was fast. Okay, here's another protocol for you. Oh god, I think I could get it. I could get it. It's really hard. Oh, fuck. That's so
I have to say go B again.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. Woo! We did it. We did it. Round of applause. We got it. We tap. We pause. We press tab. Okay. So here's what I want you to start doing. Okay. Start of the round. Just press tab. Hold it for 10 seconds. At the very least, hold it for 10 seconds. Okay. What do we have as information on this particular round? What do we have to worry about?
The close angles. And Phoenix eating ult.
Yeah, because they're most likely on ego, right? What else do we have to worry about? You said ult, so they might be fighting for orbs, right? They could fight for orbs. They could be playing close up. What other information do we have on this particular round? There's something else that we've talked about in previous coaching sessions There's something else here. It's really good information. Can you get it? It's on the enemy
is it-
screen.
I was gonna say, is it the Phoenix? The Phoenix has 178 ping.
Fuck yeah. Where the fuck is Phoenix playing? Where's he been playing the last little bit? Do we know?
Mid and A.
Mid and A. Okay. So, when you see an opportunity, right? I'm not the guy who goes for cheesy plays and shit like that, but when you see an opportunity to win a free round because someone's spiking like crazy, run that fucking site down. Why not? Right? Have the higher advantage. Why not go for it? Right? So these are little things that you could pick up on if you just press tab. So many people will be like, well, how am I doing my KDA? But that is the most useless piece of information that's on the scoreboard, because guess what? That is past. We are now present, and we're looking towards the future and making decisions based on the present moment. We don't care about the past. That's a whole different thing. If you want to take a screenshot of your past and put it in a trophy folder with all your great scores and all that good stuff, and put it on your desktop just to remind you how good you fucking are, then you can do that later. But right now, we are focused on the here and now, the present, right? So what is it that we can learn about this round? This round, we have an opportunity where someone is playing on the moon. Let's take full advantage of this fucker.
Thank you.
Trophy. What rank is the student right now? He is Ascendant 1. He's been bouncing between Ascendant 1 and Ascendant 2. We're going to be moving on to the next VOD very soon. I think this is like my last couple notes. We're going to be looking at a communication in the clutch.
Spots here.
Okay, and then, yeah, so those are the things that I want you to be remembering on your threat assessment, because there's a very particular moment here that my Radiant teams have been killed for. They've lost rounds because of this decision that you make in this round. It's a very important one. Let's go to the moon, Shy Guys.
Backside, Phoenix as well.
Okay. This is it. This is the moment, right? Okay. I want you to run pros and cons for this alt. And you tell me if you like the alt. Okay? In chat, you can join in as well. Give me pros. Let's everyone go pros first. Pros of doing an alt in this situation. Viper alt. Go for it.
My main pro is that I could play time, stall out, and going for really every round we can get right now.
Okay.
Cut off their information.
Less health for enemies. Potato Taco said that. Yeah, I wrote that down as my pro as well. If they go in the alt, their HP drops, making it easier to kill. Perfect. You said space control and cut off information. I'm going to argue those ones, but I want you to continue with what you're saying. Okay?
That was it. That was good.
Okay. Now, anyone else want to say anything on the chat? In terms of enemy can't see. Okay, we can say that. Enemy can't see. Perfect. All right. Now, let's go through the cons of doing this alt, guys. What are the cons for doing this alt?
We have numbers advantage.
Yes. Okay, what else?
They are on an eco, so they probably have like SMGs.
They're on an eco.
And they're saving. And I don't need to waste ults on their eco.
Yeah. Yep. Here's the thing. There are certain ults that are really good to use on eco. For one, for example, Sky ult. Fantastic. Because you can identify if there's going to be a stack on the bomb site. So there are some ults specifically for eco that can work really well with eco. You make a good point there. Investing on an eco round, maybe not the best move. Cool. What else? I'm gonna start unloading on you if you're good. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Allows enemy to scale into the alt to force close range fights. What are they on? They're on eco right now. They want close range fights. So when they see this, they say, oh, this is a great opportunity. I'm probably going to lose the round anyway, so let's just push into the smoke and see if we can make something happen. Okay? That's the first one, right? And that typically right there is the biggest issue. And I've seen scrims won and lost at a high level because of this, right? Sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze, right? I don't care for 1 HP. You're going to end up hitting them one shot in the head anyway, right? So that's one thing. We're up men, okay? We're up 3-2. We talked about this the round prior. Smokes are typically not our friend when we are up men, okay? Or up players, right? Because now it's making them have an opportunity to play ratty angles. Is the next part. They can rat in our smokes. So we typically, on eco, the last thing that we want to really focus on is the big 4 right here. We typically want to take more long range distance dry fights against ecos, okay? So if we're taking these long range fights against this, for example, right here, you can see it, right? This frenzy, that's going to be more advantageous to us. So by doing this ult, it works out for us, but it could have gone really wrong really fast, right?
Yeah.
Now, had you taken in with your tab key that they were on eco, I feel as though you wouldn't have made the decision to do this. But I understand why you did it, because you're thinking, if I put the ult down, it locks down this round win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally fine. It's a good line of thought. But I would weigh out the pros and cons of what your process is going to be, your thought process for taking the B site prior to the round starting. It all happens at the beginning of the round by phase, right? Rounds are won and lost in by phase. Okay. Communication and clutch. This is the last round that I made notes on. I'm going to have to move on to my next client because I'm a little bit behind. But yeah. Thank you so much for the follow, Perk J. Thank you so much for coming out. Feel free to join up on all the socials that I've got up here. And feel free to reach out at any point in time for any questions you might have.
I have no wall, no wall.
Unfortunate about the wall. Good call. That changes the way people will peek now. So the guys over on cave are now slowing down because of the fact that they have no wall. This is all good things to be communicating that people at low ranks do not do, right? Because it's just expected that that wall is going to be there. So
He can't TP, he can't TP.
Can't use this. Toxins going up.
Reloading. Enemy spotted A.
okay. So we're getting close to the situation. Even right now, it's a 5v3. So you can just be repeating this 5v3, 5v3. Don't need to peek.
Toxin screen down.
That sky hill's definitely coming in handy this time. Okay. 4v2 could be repeating these comms.
Toxins going up.
Okay, we are now in a 3v1 and we know where Phoenix is. We can be communicating, right? To say he's right side yellow, right side yellow. Last guy. Okay?
Yeah.
This is all about action comms, really. Now, the other thing that you could be saying right here. How's it going, Try First CEO? How you doing? Try? How's it going? The other thing that you could be saying right now is, I can't see him. I can't see him. I'm moving away, right? Little things that you can be throwing in there. So he's right side yellow. I'm reloading. I'm looking away, right? Just so that Jet doesn't get caught looking away because she's thinking that instantaneously you're watching this push right now, right? So she can look away. She shouldn't be looking away. She should always be facing the enemy, right? Always keep the enemy in front of you is another protocol that I use as well, so you can add that to your repertoire, right? So anyways, so at this point right now, you're now in a 2v1 situation, and you need to communicate when you're going to peak, when you're doing all these different things, okay? So right now you could be saying to your Sky, I'm wrapping titty, I'm gonna peek, 3, 2, 1, peeking. Because if you did that, I don't think Sky would have just randomly tossed a flash out here that she couldn't use to be able to use against him. Right? This flash is absolutely useless, right? But if she timed that flash with your peak, then it would have been useful. Instead, it becomes a flash that just hits you in the face. Now, here's the thing. You're going to react to this. How do we take extreme ownership in this moment? Take a look. Watch your reaction. Right? You're talking to yourself like, fuck, this just flashed me in the face, right? But how can we take extreme ownership? You need to communicate these things. Communicate that you're doing this. at a high level, you will hear people constantly calling out what they're doing, because once again, it comes down to the same thing over and over and over again in this VOD. People can't read your mind, right?
Yeah.
You have an integrity and a responsibility to your teammates to make them play better, right? That is your responsibility, and you do that through actions like this. Now watch this, guys. This is actually something that's kind of good. I haven't run the numbers on this to see if it's something that actually works, but take a look at what Phoenix does here. Phoenix throws fire onto your snakebite. Now, I don't know if someone can quickly in the chat run the math, but I think with the wall and the fire, he could like double heal himself and not have to worry about snakebite. It might be potential.
On a side note, if you Viper snakebite yourself while standing on an enemy Viper snakebite, it negates the effects.
If you
by a lot.
If you Viper snakebite yourself
while on an enemy Viper snakebite, it negates the damage, and you only take the damage from your own snakebite.
Cool. What about if you're using Phoenix abilities to heal yourself as a snakebite?
I don't know what the difference is for the Phoenix. I thought the Viper little fact was cool.
It's a really good thing to learn. I think it's a good thing to figure out, because if you're playing, let's say you're playing Phoenix and you're playing lineups and you're committing to those lineups, like you just negate the lineups by throwing fire at your ground. Like that's actually pretty cool. I really like the innovation this guy had there. Like, good for him. Okay, so you must have hit him because it ended up killing him, the snakebite. You must have
I had two of them on there as well. The first one hit there.
So 2 snakebites can stack and do more damage? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, they both do their individual amounts of damage.
Let's see. Oh, we don't have a kill feed. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so...
Yeah, one did 62 and one did 32.
Interesting. Cool. Things to learn. Things to think about. This is all stuff I never considered as well. So even I can learn shit, right? This is cool. Yeah. So this is where I ended off my notes. Let's go right to the end, because I want to make the point that, you know, a game is never over until it's absolutely over.
Be ready for a fast push short here.
We got to
remember. Yeah, I actually calm here. You'd be proud.
Well, it's the fun thing, right? Because once again, it comes back to the beginning. Emotions just affect you so much, right?
Wait, hold on, go back. I'm actually so happy about this round. Okay. You gotta listen to this. I'm actually happy about this.
So we'll go back.
I came back a little bit mentally.
Good.
Match point.
They're in the coffin. Time to bury them.
They're broke. Same strat. Hard A. If Viper puts up her util, instantly just wait it out, and then we'll push. They have Phoenix ult who might push with that. Just be ready for a fast push short here.
Here.
I'm okay with this wall. It's fine.
My ult is ready.
Requires an orb.
My apologies.
Sky, once her util goes down, hold.
Big pick.
Wait it out. Just hold the flank. Hold flanks. Once it goes down, Sky's gonna ult.
Just gonna have one person go through halls on these takes.
Okay, go.
Toxins going up.
Close right.
Huge.
I'm pushing. Good.
Joke's over. You're dead.
I'm ulting. Play with me and my ult. Play with me and my...
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to secure the last round. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just tried to get this game over. But yes, I know. Same mistake.
They're trying to keep the game going. Right? It doesn't punish you, but there's a potential, right? Just think about that. It's probably not going to punish you in this situation for sure, because they're kind of fucked. They're on eco. They're pretty well fucked. Like, they can't find a way to get in there. They might be able to now. They could be in there now. Ah, see? In there now. He's gonna rat through it. This might be a kill. Okay, he doesn't get it. He should have actually killed Chamber there.
GG, good comeback. Good job.
Cool. Awesome. So, what are our top takeaways from today? I'm gonna have to move on to my next call.
Being just more focused on myself, not being focused on things I can't control. Kind of being more situationally aware with util, comms. Comms probably being one of the biggest things, and people can't read my mind. Yeah, I'd say right now those things. A lot
Cool.
of-
I would definitely say rewatch this a few times. We're gonna have it on Twitch. You'll have a link sent to you. I'll send you my notes, all that good stuff. And really, just be patient with yourself a little bit more. Try not to jump to reactions right away, because when you jump to reactions, most of the time, when you act out of anger, you're probably not acting with a full deck of cards. If you know what I mean? Right? You're not all the way there. So this is something that can affect you in life as well. So controlling reactivity, some of the worst decisions in life, from some of the most famous people were bad decisions made out of reactions, right? Fights that shouldn't have happened, relationships that are demolished because of an instantaneous reaction. This will affect relationships. This will affect your work life, all these different things. So if you can start to control that immediate response and just slow down and really consider all perspective sides. Like that one example, that one round where Sky was dogging down B, right? There's many different interpretations to this reality, this existence that we have, and we only have our own perception. And if we can ask you the question, how many times in your life have you been wrong? Would you be able to answer that question? You can't. There's so many times you're wrong. So our own perceptions of things is not a really good proponent on who is right and who is wrong. It's not a fair thing, because we're just not we're not a perfect being ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So our own perspectives oftentimes are not great in general. So being as open about that as possible is going to be a really big piece for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, my friend. Was that helpful today?
No, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Great.
I really do.
There might be a lot of repeat stuff from you might have heard from other coaches and whatnot, or things like that. But I'm hoping that it was at least a little bit more, helpful.
There's lots of new stuff and lots of repeats, but it's always good to get everything. Sometimes you need those repeats. That's
Definitely
how things stick, right?
Yeah, and if we do another one in the future, I would love to see one where you're not quite tilted, right? Just so we can see how the shift has changed for you and how your decision making has changed. So definitely looking forward to doing that again in the future if you'd like to do that. If you know of anyone that would benefit from doing this, say like a duo or something like that, feel free to refer them, because that's where my business usually comes from, is a word of mouth. So I appreciate anyone that you do refer to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate
Daniel.
you. Yes.
So
All right, you enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully the rest of your coaching sessions are just as fun.
It will be fun. It will be fun, especially because you just said that too. So, Daniel,
I will
thank you
definitely
so
be
much.
working on this thing.
Definitely, my friend. At any point in time, if you have questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank